I could see it.
Welcome back to CBC News Sunday Night. What if your ability to speak or understand speech was taken away with no warning? Every moment a struggle to find words that just won't come. That's what happens to people with aphasia. It occurs when the language centers of the brain are damaged by stroke or brain injury. Though it affects more than 100,000 Canadians, many people have never heard of it. Our Pat Softly spoke to two people living with aphasia and found out how they're learning to express themselves.
It says, my name Christopher Bernhard. I have had a stroke, survivor, and sometimes I have difficulty communicating. At the age of 40, 2004, I had a couple of strokes, and my life has changed. Aphasia? I never really knew what that word was before, but in result of a, okay, I'm still stuck for now, but my thinking has changed. Sometimes I won't understand things properly, so I had to learn how to learn everything over, I guess. I was never the best student in the past. I dropped out of high school when I was 15 years old, and I'm 43 now, and I'm going back to upgrade my schooling.
Before his strokes, Christopher worked as a tradesman, installing interlock bricks. He had just started his own company, Bernhard Interlock, when his life was interrupted.
It's just I can't do it right now because nobody's. I am a rust. I am a wrist. Hang on, I'm trying to think of the word risk. I mean, if I fall and have another stroke or a seizure, that they might have a problem with that. Am I allowed to be honest, I guess? The reason I had a stroke was because I was using drugs. Stupid drug, this methamphetamines, and I don't use drugs anymore, but it just happened. I've been dealing with it since I was 20 years old.
Hey there.
We meet again.
Who's that guy? After his second stroke, I was reading his obituary and in my head, and I didn't know what to say. Just put it on the floor. What did you bring us?
My painting I finished.
Another one?
This the last one I just finished. So from this, at the Aphasia Center, actually, I'm painting, and I got a teacher, and she's very helpful.
Can I see it?
I'll see if I can do another.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I'm depending on...
Aphasia is a language problem, and we need to remember that language isn't the same as speech. So speech is one part of language. So language means being able to understand people when they speak with you, obviously being able to speak, but also being able to read, being able to write. So all of those things can be affected when you have aphasia.
I'm Sybil Geller, and this is my husband, Jack, who had a massive stroke March the 28th, 2002. And every person with aphasia is different.
You know, part of the thing you know, the other is difficult. When I went, oh good, this one, great, boom, boom.
Language is something that at a very early age, we're taught separates us from the animals. And a person without language is a non-person. He'll sit in a room, people will talk around him. Because he can't respond, they assume he's not there.
Here is a man who was on the debating team when he attended the University of Toronto, who practiced law for 37 years, and who went on to become Vice Chair of the Ontario Securities Commission.
It's very difficult for me to speak for him, who's, you know, his own person.
We can't cure the aphasia. We can't fix the part of the brain that's damaged. But what we see is sometimes people do get more words, and that's great. But sometimes people also learn different ways to communicate.
Just a second, we'll, yes.
Are you talking about a movie? What type of movie do you like to watch?
It's the one, da-dum, 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 here. Ah, yes.
Was this war?
Yeah, we do
Like
that.
wartime
yes,
movies?
Yes, when we...
You know I don't let you give up.
yeah.
We always find a way.
Yes.
I like to listen to hear what they're doing.
From England?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, right here. And big one, big one.
It's still very difficult to hear Jack not talking this way.
Oh, my friend, this one.
Anybody know? Around World War II time?
No.
Was he Prime Minister of England?
Yes, 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 yes. Ah, yes, that's it. That's it.
Oh, right.
Easy.
It's work.
Not the same.
It's work.
Tough and really is very difficult. Very difficult.
You know, he comes out exhausted.
Sometimes I get embarrassed and I just shut up and just don't talk anymore, I guess, because I can't hear it properly or whether I'm saying it wrong, I guess.
But there's one place where that doesn't matter.
This is all about language, about speaking, about listening, and about communications.
Christopher and Jack belong to the Toastmasters Club at the Aphasia Institute in Toronto. The goal here is to help people gain confidence speaking in front of an audience.
Public speaking, we know, for just about anyone is a hard thing. And we thought it was kind of a neat idea to take people who inherently have communication problems and work with them on a program that targets public speaking.
Morning, everyone. The objective of table topics is to speak on a given topic without preparation. The table topics for today is customer reviews. So the first person must give a good review of the item.
This is Duracell, a cinch.
Today, good to see you, everyone here. This is really important. Each of things here, all of them, here, all of them, you used them. This one, oh yeah, I gotta make a good one. Out here, fix it, up. Good.
The second person gives a bad review of the item.
Okay, let's just pretend that I had batteries in my Duracell battery and I overloaded my batteries and I had a stroke. Thanks.
What I was going to suggest that this fiber source they should have here, do not eat this before you are going out somewhere until you have tried this, because it's deadly. Most of these things, especially when they call it something like Nature Valley.
He's with people who understand him and take him for who he is, not what he's not saying. That's what Toastmasters has been to us.
Speech will always be a struggle for Jack, But with a lot of perseverance and encouragement from his family, Jack has scored a major victory.
It was 5 years that you couldn't read.
Yes.
You couldn't decipher, you couldn't decode.
I didn't know. And then I tried. All right, well, okay, dear, it's fine. Look. Oh my God, it's good. I could see it.
Oh, it was a miracle. Just that changed our lives.
Yes, no question. It's important.
I think that Chris is destined to inspire people, and I think that because of his stroke, he was able to do a 180, turn around his life, and progressed so well with being motivated and being able to work through all his challenges. And it's inspiring to our family, and I think it will be very inspiring to other people. And I think that's his direction in life.
Christopher is looking forward to finding a job. He would like to work in a detox center, helping people who are struggling with addiction.
I would like to help others that have it. Okay, let me try it this way then. For this split second, I wanted to use drugs, and look what it's done. I've had to learn over everything, and I would rather have given birth if I put myself through this, so I would like to help others.
You know, 1/3 of all stroke survivors have aphasia. It can be mild or can make communication virtually impossible. And in the United States, a survey was done of people with this language disorder, and about 70% of people who have it believed others avoided contact with them because they have trouble communicating.
And in
It's a
fact,
real problem.
some people with aphasia are mistaken for alcoholics, and so there's a real stigma attached to it. And you heard Jack Geller's wife say that Toastmasters, where they're learning to speak in public, are surrounded by people who understand them. And you know, one of the things they say about aphasia is don't cut people off, let them do it. And you see that at Toastmasters. Everybody there seems to understand how they're dealing with it.
And that's particularly hard in our society, isn't it? We're in the age of the soundbite. We're in the age of smooth and slick, and everybody's got to have a clever response, and the one-liners and the quips, and you know, so it's difficult if you're even a slow talk, like a genuinely slow talker who likes to think and consider what they're going to say in our society sometimes. So compounded by the fact that you have, and by the way, you have no trouble understanding, but you can't find the right words sometimes.
You feel in prison.
Yeah, hits most of us sometimes, but imagine dealing with that all the time. It's a reminder to me to be more patient with people, actually, and to actually be present with them when they're trying to communicate.
And you notice with Jack Geller's wife there and Christopher's family that, and Jack Geller's wife said, language really defines us, your ability to communicate, and it's such part of our identities, and when that's taken away, they're really struggling to put it back together. So it was really nice to see, you know, Pat Softly produce that, really see that process in action. But that was an interesting insight into a more common problem than you think.
And thank you to Jack and Christopher for enlightening everybody and giving us a glimpse into what this is all about. I mean, I think we're better for this story.
Absolutely.